Awesome, first one of the year. So welcome to Schick Happens. In today's episode, I'm going to do my first shed hunt for deer antlers for 2021. We're in Northwest Ohio here, and typically I wait to do this till about mid-March. I just got too many other things going on, but recently I was checking the trail cams, and I've noticed over the last week or so there's some bucks that are dropping their antlers. We have some snow on the ground, and I figure, you know what, why not go take a poke around and see what we can find. Our deer season wrapped up here last week, and about a week and a half ago I did end the season on a good note. I harvested a real nice doe. If you're interested in watching that video, I did film it. I'll have that linked in the description below. But as I've been checking the trail cameras recently, the big buck I was after, I didn't get a shot at him, but just a couple days later, after season ended, I did notice that one of his sides were gone. And there was also some scrub bucks, or smaller bucks, basket racks, whatever you want to call them. They were missing some sides too. And I know just the other day, or yesterday when I checked the cameras, there were certainly some pictures of bucks in there that didn't have any headgear at all. So I thought, why not? Let's go take a poke around. I'm not the greatest antler hunter, shed hunter out there, but there are some things that I picked up over the years that have helped me at least find a few. And I'll share those with you throughout this video. So, with that being said, let's go see if we can find some sheds. Now typically, the first place that I look on my property is in the food plots that I put in. I usually find a shed or two every year combing the area where I put these in. Unfortunately, this past year we went through a severe drought here all the way in through summer into fall, and my food plots simply didn't do that good. There's some grain sorghum here behind me. I plant that every year. I love it for one of my food plot choices. But as you can see, the heads on these are very small, and there's just not a lot of deer tracks in here. So I think I'm going to skip the food plots for now and move on to other places I think I might find some sheds. So on today's search for sheds, I'm going to start right here. I'm not far from my deer blind. This is a spot where I've been dumping corn through season and continue to dump a little bit of corn. And yes, in the state of Ohio, we can legally bait for deer. But there's quite a few trails coming up to this. There's a ravine down through here where they come up through the thicket. So the first place I'm going to start today is I'm going to get down to the bottom of this ravine and check that swath in between these two dips. You can see over there's a couple main trails. I definitely want to scout that area. Anywhere where they're putting their pressure that might help jar that antler loose that's ready to come off, either coming up or going down hills. I certainly want to investigate, and you can see over there that certainly looks like a well-used trail. Now, along with the big dips here, this little gully keeps running down for probably 200 yards or so. And the further down it goes, the narrower it gets until it's a real sharp V, maybe 3-4 feet across. That's another place I want to focus on, especially if there's deer trails where they're jumping over that little ravine that might entice the jarring of those antlers loose. So I'm definitely going to follow this ravine all the way up till it ends and just kind of check things out. Another area I like to focus on is fencing like this. Now this here running throughout my property is in various stages of decay. It serves no purpose other than just being here. But there are sections where the deer travel where they have to jump over this, where it is a little bit off the ground. And those are definitely places I want to key in on, just in case that jumping and hitting that ground on the other side could jar a loose one. I also like to focus on these transition points, kind of where there's the thick cover getting from one section to another, like in here. Then there's a lane and it goes into the thicket. Not a lot of prominent trails, but there's still places I like to focus on. Look up here, just to the left of that little sapling. That looks like two little tines. Awesome, first one of the year. I'm actually pretty stoked finding one this early in the season. Not a huge buck, but it makes no difference to me. This is a trophy. Finding my first one of 2021. This is what it's all about. If this is the only one I find this year, I'll be happy because I found one. And I love being out here. Now I know trying to find them in the snow can be tough, extremely tough. I usually like waiting until the snow's gone, but the trade-off to that is then the mice start getting to them and start whittling everything apart. Pretty happy with this. I just had to text a picture of that to Randy and Don. I think Don's perch fishing right now, and Randy's probably horning in on the kids with something. A little bit of a steep hill here. I don't want to put a blooper reel up of me rolling down it either. Looks like there was a couple deer bedded here. Right up there's one of my blinds. Another little bed there. Thanks for joining me here today on Schick Happens on my first shed hunt of 2021, and it was a success. I'm looking forward to getting out here a few more times, especially after the snow's gone. These might be a little bit easier to spot, but this is what I was after, and I found one. If this is it for the season, I'm happy. It was a success. But I think this afternoon I'm going to wrap up the shed hunting here in a little bit and go hit the ice for some bluegill and crappie. Until next time, cheers.